This program was made possible by the OG affiliate program and with the continued support of the rewards affiliates. Hello, my friends. Yes, I'm back again with news and information affecting affiliates, as well as, our own unique perspective on things. And speaking of news and information, do you remember, does anyone out there recall all the articles that were published leading up to major announcements for our industry in the United Kingdom? Things like affordability checks, mandatory levies, and most recently, those tax increases. All were reported weeks to months before they were officially announced. And that's what has me so concerned about this story here. Another UK study has been rolled out. Yes, another damn study. This one focusing on the gambling year ahead and quite possibly laying the foundations for an attack on British sports betting. To be completely transparent, however, this new study was not commissioned by the UK Gambling Commission. But that doesn't mean they won't use it for nefarious purposes. And since they now require a full-on rectal examination before you play a $5 game of slots, why would they not target betting on sporting events like the upcoming Royal Ascot, the Champions League finals, or even the World Cup? This survey was put together by the National Building Society. I had no idea what a building society was, but a brief Google search told me it was a financial organization similar to what folks here in America call a credit union. Wow. That, combined with the fact that they included numbers in their survey from the National Lottery, should tell you all you need to know about the quality of their work. And to support their contention, or perhaps it's a prediction that we're going to have an increase in problem gambling this summer, all due to these sporting events, they publish some numbers. Numbers like 8%. 8% of bettors don't always feel in control while gambling. And 6%. 6% said betting had caused conflict or negatively impacted their lives. Ambiguous numbers at best, as they don't really define conflict or just how people's lives were impacted. And when you gamble, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually you're not in control most of the time. That's why they call it gambling, and that's some of what makes it fun. Plus, there was additional criticism that 17% of bettors said they bet to make some money. Wow, how is that even a valid complaint? I mean, who places a bet and says, gosh, I hope I lose this one? And who among us hasn't bought a $2 lottery ticket hoping against all odds that our numbers would come up and that we would be the ones to win millions? There were some other statistics reported as well, like 53% of players surveyed said that they bet for fun and entertainment. That's it. But you really can't vilify an entire industry or steer an agenda using that number. Maximize your traffic with 1xBet Partners, a powerhouse program built for affiliates. Stop guessing and start scaling with daily updates on your stats, powered by industry leader Income Access. Plus, maximize your earnings with CPAs, hybrid deals, and effective rev share up to 37%. Find high conversions and more profits when you sign up with 1xBet Partners. Welcome back. On our last show, I spoke to you at length about the current state of prediction markets around the world. And on our show from January 16th, we specifically mentioned some suspicious activity that had taken place at Polymarket. A customer made a $30,000 trade predicting that the president of Venezuela would be removed from power by a certain day and a certain time. Then, miraculously, just a few short hours afterwards, American forces grabbed Maduro in the middle of the night. That is a pretty lucky guess if you asked me, and it netted that customer over $430,000. It also caused many people to suspect there was some hanky-panky going on, perhaps a little inside information if you know what I mean. Now, it's happened again. 6 more times, actually. 6 more customers put up some serious cash predicting Iran's Ayatollah would also be removed from power, which he was when he was killed, netting those customers $1.2 million. Now, if there's inside information being shared, that's concerning. But for me, personally, even more concerning is the ethics of these so-called contracts where the loss of human life could be involved. Yes, I know the Ayatollah was a horrific, murderous piece of shit. And I'm not sorry he's dead, but would people tolerate a contract on casualties from an earthquake or a typhoon? Would they accept contracts on terrorist attacks, when and where they will occur? Or if a plane is going to crash and how many casualties will be on board? I'm not being critical of the Iranians for dancing in the streets when they learned that their Ayatollah was dead. Who could blame them after decades of oppression? But I am saying that these sorts of contracts are very close to betting on someone's death, and I'm not sure that's good for society. For me, personally, it crosses a fundamental line of humanity. We're on one side, and people like the Ayatollah are on another, and betting on their death kind of blurs that line, at least for me. So, what are your thoughts on these contracts? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the forum. And God willing, I'll come back and do this again next week. Welcome back. The beard's at that itchy point. I'm sure some of you ladies can relate. No, I'm not using that. No, sir.